I'm Picaro from Madrid, TOC crew, OCD, and I have been painting since 2008, 15 years more or less. I have one friend that now is in the heaven, and when we were like little kids, he was older than me, and once we go to a place that nobody was there, and we start to painting, and one day he invited me to paint one train, and that was the boom for me, that I get attached to the adrenaline maybe. I want to paint, I will paint. If I have the permission, it's okay. If not, I don't have problems. Sometimes I have been arrested in Cuba, in Portugal, in many places just for paint, but it's not a really important thing, so after a couple of days you go out again, so not really a problem.
My name's Jane Sizing. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia in the US, and I'm here studying the British music industry.
My name is Ian Stein. I'm from New York, and I'm just here visiting family.
I mean, I really like graffiti, and I kind of wanted to see it because I feel like graffiti and street art is kind of what just like your average person is feeling in the moment, and it doesn't have to be planned, and it's not usually completely thought out, and I feel like it's more kind of like spontaneous. And so I think that it's really interesting to see.
And I wouldn't call graffiti vandalism. I think there's definitely like a limit, and there should be like boundaries that should be set that need to be made clear and then followed. But I see graffiti as like a very liberating art form and like form of self-expression, and that's like most certainly compelling to like the average viewer. But there is a problem that occurs when like someone, let's say, who has a bagel joint or like a pizza parlor has now all of a sudden graffiti all over their windows. So you shouldn't abuse that power, but definitely come to a place like this tunnel and like learn how to do it. It just becomes a question of common sense, like where certain art is acceptable or like where it will no longer become a problem. What would you add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it kind of has a boundary on like whether it's ruining someone else's kind of like goal or their artwork. I feel like if it's on something that doesn't add much or like have a direct purpose, well, it's a hard like statement to make. But that usually it's like fine if it's adding art, but I think that if it's changing someone else's creation or someone else's like responsibility, that then it kind of borders on like not okay.
My name in the street is 2135, and I've been painting for more than 10 years, but not constantly, just when I have time, like a hobby, and it's good for keep your mind disconnect of the world. And the first time was with my friends and was in the park, and like small walls, small stuff. At the beginning we found a lot of paint for walls with brush, and we start with brush and a lot of this stuff, and then in the cheap shop we buy the cheap cans, the cheap sprays, and we start with this paint, and then with the more professional paint. But most of the places, no, there is not allowed. But in some places, like here in London, is one time, but I was really young, and we was painting a train. So with trains and graffiti, it's not really not really good combination. So letters and my significance is express my my addiction for paint or for be free. Like no, but sometimes I put a happy face. So I usually, if it's a good art, we can keep it. But if it's dirty and
I'm Beata and I'm here from Australia, and I love looking at different street art whenever I'm traveling. So I just Googled it and found Leake Street tunnels to be a place to come and check out stuff. Oh no, I love it. I don't know, since I've been a teenager, I've always been really impressed by how people can be so creative with stuff. I don't like stupid tagging, just like tags, but if you're going to do something, yeah, make it look good. And I think all this stuff looks really good. So yeah, art, definitely art, 100%. I am not artistic at all, but I would pay to have someone like spray paint a big wall in my room, or yeah, be happy for them to do a big piece on the side of my house or anywhere. But no, I can't do art.
I'm Caitlin and I go to uni in London and I live in London, so yeah.
I'm Ruby, I live in London.
I've been here quite a few times, but I more come here because I see it on like TikTok and places like that. Like there's a general atmosphere around this place that kind of makes you want to come, so I like it. And it's also changing all the time. Like when I last came here, there wasn't like, there's a neon bit down there, it wasn't there before. And like these guys just said they're putting something up there. We just put our own thing up there. Really bad, but we did. Me, I don't know. I kind of like it. I don't know about you.
I think I like it. It's something that you can appreciate, that just walking around, like you don't have to go somewhere special to see it. Like it's just around you all the time.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a way of people leaving their mark, I guess. People that maybe like no one really knows, or it's just, yeah.
I find it kind of interesting. It's different when you see like a train go past and there's like something on it, or like you driving down the motorway or something and you see like on the bridges there's something. Like it's just, I think it's just a bit different, as long as it doesn't like terribly ruin the landscape. And like bridges are kind of industrial, like there's nothing really special about them. So it kind of adds an element of colour, which I don't mind, so yeah.
In a place like this, I don't understand why you would.
Yeah.
Because I think it's what makes it what it is. Like, it brings people here. It's the reason. I mean, it's like we wouldn't be walking around here if
it wasn't
there. And
yeah, I prefer if other artists paint over other artists' work.
Yeah.
As opposed to like
someone just
clearing it all out. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I'd say I wouldn't wipe it off, because that's ruining work, I think.
And it's a job as other. It's like a game, like the rat and the cat, no? If they cover, you paint again. Sometimes you look to paint in the place that they can't cover it, so you start to climb, start to go in other places. So that's the game. Also, for example, in the city center, they clean so much. If you paint in the outsides of the city, usually you see more graffiti. So it depends on the government also, and the place that they want to keep clean for the tourism and all that. These persons that do these amazing things, they also paint in the night undercover, I'm sure, but this is another type of expression. For me, this is art, nothing bad. Just because of the police, I don't know, nobody know me better.
I'm DNZ. I'm from North Wales in Denbighshire, and yeah, I've been doing painting about 7 or 8 months by now, so I'm fairly new to it, to be honest, but yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. Really, I got dragged into it by a few people. They suggested that I start doing a bit of painting, so I started doing little simple stencils like ants. That was my first few. And then I started getting a bit better, and they kept encouraging me to make bigger stencils, and they kept mentoring me along the way. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I actually came down Leake Street one time to practice stenciling with the 2 people that I mentioned. And yeah, I did a piece of an ant on the floor, and it, like I stood on the loads of paint, and it was like the blood splattered it, like somebody had stepped on it. Other than that, my first piece was on the actual street. That would have been real North Wales, with a piece for the RNLI. That was my first piece, and yeah, that was quite good. My first piece of artwork that lasted, well, it's still there to this day. It's on a beach wall. That actually got a lot of attention from the locals, and they quickly asked the council to come and cover it with protection. So yeah, they put some Perspex glass on, but I'm pretty sure it's been removed by now because somebody smashed it. Street art is getting like evolving. Like, I mean, look at all the big pieces down here. It can make somewhere look really, really good. Like if the walls are just blank. Yeah, so I think they should definitely look at it and maybe try and brighten up the cities and the rural areas with murals and stuff like that. You know, I've seen some pretty cool pieces. Take it as you want it, really, but. I mean, if somebody's just doing tagging and doing little squiggly lines and stuff like that on walls, or people spending hours and hours doing murals, I mean, everyone sees art as like different things, but I definitely think that the government and stuff like that should definitely have a look at the rules of graffiti and street art especially, because it can make somewhere look really nice, just like with a bit of paint, so yeah.